Okay, so we finished the guide mesh as far as I think we need. So in case we need to do anything, change these later, I'll put them in a later part. But now we're just gonna continue on cutting parts out, which is the fun part. So what I'm actually going to do is the model in its current state like this, I am going to share in the description below. So you guys can download the guide mesh that I've made right here, and you can cut parts out along with me if you want to, if you didn't make the guide mesh. So yeah, so only this is in the model with the background images, and then yeah, you guys will have that. Okay, we're back. First thing we're going to do is we're going to rename this to just, just name it base. And then yeah, we'll just leave the collection name like that for now. And we'll add a new collection and we'll move it out here, and I'm just going to name it bodywork. Or, you know, match the format I did up there. Okay, so we're going to cut out the front bumper, this part. So we have the reference image here. Or we don't. One sec. Yeah, alright, so we have the reference image showing where we need to cut. Yeah, so we need to cut along there on the light, and then along there, and then down here. So let's duplicate it, and let's move it into the bodywork collection, and we're going to call this one front bumper. And we're going to tab into edit mode, gonna unhide anything, and we're gonna turn off the visibility of that. And then we're just going to cut out everything that isn't needed for the front bumper. So we'll cut out all of that back there, and we can actually cut. We can cut this out. We don't need that. Okay. And now we have this left over. We're going to go into side view, and we are going to get the knife tool, the knife tool with K, and I'm just going to pick there, and I'm just going to draw that out, that line right there, and I'm going to delete. Actually, so we see that the knife tool didn't cut all the way through. So let's go into front view. Doesn't line up amazingly, but we're just gonna go across there like that, and then I'm just gonna cut out this up there, and that can go as well. And then we're gonna do, let's see, let's add this in there. Move it up a little bit. And then go into top view, and then just gonna slide that line down there. And that as well. And let's see. Yeah, we'll go with this for now. And we'll delete everything on top of that. And that is pretty good so far. We can move that over just slightly, no problem. Alright, and now we want to do the side. So actually we can get rid of this. We'll leave that part there for the time being. But the indicator, and let's merge this at the bottom. Okay. And then yeah, we're going to get rid of that. That looks good. And we can leave the bottom as is, or slide this over. Alright, that is pretty much all we have to do for cutting out. And then later we need to add this detail in, and we need to add that detail in. But first let's clean up what we have cut out. So I'm going to join that up like that, and then we're going to go to our Modifier tab. We're going to go to Shrink Wrap, and we're going to select Base. And I'm just going to turn it off right now. And we're going to go into the Matte Cap, and go for red. And we're going to see that, you know, some parts are a little bit warped. But when we turn it on, oh, sorry, we weren't even in edit mode. Turn it off there. And this is with it off, you can see it's warped in there. But if we turn it on, it's no longer warped because it follows the original mesh. You see, even if we bring it out, it still stays the same. But you know, it gives us an idea of what we need to bring out. So yeah, on the base actually, we're gonna bring it out like that just a little bit. And then yeah, that's a lot better. Cool. Okay, that's fine because we'll cover it up anyways with the you know, this part of the bumper that we'll model later. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to sharpen the edges. And this, I want it to be a bit straighter. So just clean it up by hand. And then, so here, we want to sharpen this edge. Let's add that loop there. And then on this part, we're going to use the knife tool. And we're going to just draw it in ourselves. And we can merge these. Okay, it's a lot better. And that, it's smooth, but this needs to be sharp right here. So we can do that just by using the knife. And then we have that sharp edge that fills in the indicator. And then let's wrap that area. And then for the rest of it, we'll just use the knife tool. Bring it across, and then that tightens it up. And then this part, you can also do the same. And then control, so not control, just press J to join that up. And that is, we can wrap this area too. Okay. And yeah, that's it for the bumper for now. These details we're going to do later. Don't worry. Okay, now the next step is to apply a Solidify modifier, which looks kind of bad right now. So what we're going to do is first set it so it's negative, so it's going inward, and we're going to go down to 0, 5. And we'll see that we have, first of all, this problem right here. That's because the geometry is going past the shrink wrap and it doesn't know what to do. So I think that's because of the holding loop. Yeah, so if I just slide it back, it fixes the problem. And then same here. Yeah. So that just cleans it up. And it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let me just bring this up and tighten that rim. Okay. And then I'm going to turn on only rim, which means that there's no face. But you'll see that it looks really weird right now because the rim's not working. And the rim is pointing outward, and that's because our normals are wrong. So we're going to collect everything, and when we recalculate them, nothing changes. That's because we need to turn this checkbox off right there. Because the geometry was facing the wrong way. But yeah, now that we turn on, now that we flip that, everything's better, and the rim works. And we can just go around and check that it's consistent everywhere. And it turns out we have a little problem right here. Not too sure what's causing this. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna slide that back a little bit and that would fix it. And then this same problem here, I'm just gonna slide it up a bit. And that fixes it. We'll do the same there. Yeah, and then we have this problem right here, which is caused by the Solidify overlapping within itself. Because it gets a little tight in that area. That's not a problem because it's not visible from the top. Yeah, so I just brought down the thickness to 0.3 because I think that's still thick enough, and we were having just some other shading issues. So yeah, if you notice, you saw the shading issue down there. All I did was I slid it over in a bit, and then it just solved the issue. And now we can look at it with the matte cap, and everything works out fine. Yeah. So I think we're done with the bumper for now. We'll come back to it later to add the details such as that parking sensor, I guess, and then the headlight washers. Yeah, a little bit shorter, which I hope you guys don't mind. Download the file for yourself to try along. If you didn't model the base mesh, if you did, then just do what I did here as well. But yeah, see you guys in the next part.